I am live out here in these streets. This is a subscribers only dip, just so I don't have to deal with the foolishness, right? Um, this is a special weekend edition. Special weekend edition live. I wanted to go live because I just finished recording two videos. The two videos that I recorded were I recorded a solar power tips and tricks video, and I recorded kind of like a versus, not really though, but it's like the distinct features that I noticed between the what is it called? Sheesh. The AC 300 and the EcoFlow Delta Pro, right? Did y'all see Will Prowse's video where he reviewed the Delta Pro? The reason why he reviewed it so late is because he doesn't want to review Kickstarter products anymore. What's going on, Shaza Javi? I think we're gonna be a little light in here because I didn't give enough advance notice. So we're gonna hang out for a little bit and shoot the breeze until hopefully some more people come in. I know it's Saturday. People are not used to me going live on Saturday. I'm not used to me going live on Saturday. But the missus, she took the kids with her to go run a few errands so that she could give me some time to record. So I recorded those two videos, and I was talking to my man Wayne, like, should I go live today? I don't have nothing to talk about though. And he was like, yeah, you should, And I was like, why not? Why not? Hey, MJ, good to see you. Leela Presti, what's happening? I'm just over here hanging out, man. I'm just over here hanging out. I know, right? It is a surprise. I feel like something's awry here, and it shouldn't be awry. Can I figure this out? My chair doesn't need to be lower because my chair is never lower. Regional Sky Girl. Every time I see this name, I'm like, that is a cool channel name. I should say every time. It's been like 3 times. And then I go over to your channel and you haven't made a video in like 3 years. What's the word? Let's chat. Let's talk. I was like, that's a cool name. I would watch that content. I would check out that. I was intrigued immediately. Okay. What's happening? Louisiana hiker? Oh, you have a little picture. That's what's up. I know, right? I'm glad to be heard, Lee. Glad to be heard. So why has it been so long, Regional Sky Girl? Actually, my folks, Bruh Let's Go, their channel, they're supposed to be doing something this weekend. I think they're recording a video, and I'm looking forward to whatever they kind of come up with. Regenerative life. What's going on, man? I say, did you see how Will lifted that generator? I did see that. I was watching it in my living room. I'll usually watch videos on my phone because but my wife had dipped. She had to go upstairs for something. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this on the TV. So I checked it out on the TV, and he was cranking that thing up. I was just like, that's hilarious. Standing all on the desk and stuff. It's funny because my son was in there, my oldest son. He was like, Daddy, do you know him? While I was watching the Will video. Are you guys friends? And I was like, yeah, we're not friends. I mean, I know him. I've talked to him before. Like, he's a cool dude. So I actually sent Will a message saying that my son had said that. He was like, oh, that was cool, man, little guy. It's my understanding that he likes kids. He really likes kids. I mean, he's talked about this stuff on his live, so I'm not putting his business in the streets. But I don't think he wants kids. Maybe he does. I don't know. I know he don't want no girlfriend. Oh, man. All right. My airline has been in negotiations for a new contract, and I didn't want to get myself fired by telling the truth. Hey, I ain't mad at that. You keep chilling. You keep chilling on the content. Don't do that. Before you get sidetracked, Talk about the lack of solar input on these solar generators. Interesting. That's funny. That's an interesting way to say that before I get sidetracked. um, what do you mean, Louisiana hiker? The lack of solar input on these solar generators. You mean low, or you mean like none at all? Like, help me out. Help me out. What's going on, Art Graph? Paco, what's happening? What's happening, man? I gotta respond to your email. Thanks for shooting that email over to me, man. We'll get you squared away with that panel. Hopefully the other dip gets here soon. They didn't give me tracking info. So I can give you the adapters. You know what I mean? I may even just try to piece the adapters together and send them off. I don't want to because I use those adapters. Those adapters are in use like literally right now. But I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can. He said he didn't want kids. Oh, you're declaring that, MJ? Because I know you be in the lives too when he have them. I enjoy those live streams with him. I especially enjoy when he goes off topic. Let me not go off topic because Louisiana hiker has warned me. I've been warned. Hey, Kimber Jack, always good to see you. Yes, low. Give me an example. What's up, sleeper? Like the long recharge times on the Jackery. Well, there you go. There you go. That's the problem. The Jackery. The Jackery 300 it's good. I've seen that thing get I think it's rated at 85 watts from solar, and I don't remember the details, but Prepping on the Creek has a video on the Jackery 300. Some nuggets in there. I suggested to him, I didn't ask him. I suggested to him that he put timestamps in that video because that video has some nuggets in there, some things that he'd observed and pointed out. But he found that it charged faster depending on how you plug the stuff into dual charger, because the Jackery 300 allows dual charging. Jackery, as I say all the time, they're kind of slow walking technology. I'm not a big fan of Jackery. That 300 is nice. I wish that 300, those features were in all of their devices. The dual charging, the decent solar input, but it's not. A decent USB-C port is 60 watts. I don't think the 500 even has a PD port. I think it has an 18 watt port. If it has a USB-C port to begin with, let's check. But I don't know. Ultimately, Louisiana hiker, I'm not sure. That's a good. So, okay. When I think about some others, realistically, you look at like the Go Labs. The Go Labs has 60 watts. The Energizer has 60 watts. It's disappointing. The Smartless one that I have has 60 watts of solar input. The Sateki, the smaller one that I have, because I have the slightly bigger one that Jason Noy has too. I want them to send me the Beastie one. I would love to take a look at that one. That would be dope. But I think it has something to do with cost. I think it has something to do with maybe cooling in those devices. I'm not sure. Jackery is a really refined company, so I wonder if they're better at packaging those components together. You can almost kind of see it in their footprint. Their footprint is a lot smaller. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I've ever heard the Jackery fan come on. That's interesting. Just to keep it a buck. This solar, this live stream is brought to you by my EB70 and my Jackery 300. And my EcoFlow is running the internet. The light is powered by the Jackery. My monitor and computer are powered by the EB70. So I would suspect that it has something to do with maybe the components inside, because these companies are over in China. They're ordering these things. Maybe the 60 watt solar input thing is one that was made in a plentiful number. So they kind of go with that, and then they build their stuff around the batteries and MPPT that they can put in there. But yeah, I think it should have at least 100 watts. But I think then cooling comes into to play, and then cost comes into play. What do you think about that, Louisiana hiker? Before I get distracted. Yeah, we talked about that. I'm looking for the AC300 right now, not just the AC200 Max. Yeah, I kind of brushed up on all of those videos this morning so I could record my video about these top feature, these things that are different. And the things that I talked about was the UPS is different on both devices. The solar input is kind of different in a tricky way on both devices, but it's kind of the same as well. The batteries, the external batteries, there's a serious difference there that people need to consider. And there may have been one other, but it was mainly the UPS that kind of piqued my interest. And I just wanted to make a video about that, those differences, and hopefully it gets some views. Maybe I'll make a good thumbnail and, gain some subscribers from it or something like that. I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers so that people can put some respect on my name. I ain't gonna say no more. That's a cultural thing. If you're not in the culture, then you don't get that. But 1,000 watt hours. 1,000 watt hours and 15. Are you talking about solar input? Because that's what your whole kind of vibe has been about with solar input. You think a power station should have 1,000 watts of solar input to come into it? Or are you talking about the Jackery 1,000 to 1,500 is the sweet spot? Are you saying 1,000 watt hours and 1,500 watt hours is a sweet spot? B3, what's happening, man? What's happening? Is the EB 240 worth buying for $10.99? It depends on you. If you just want as much capacity as you can kind of afford, and you could deal with a 1,000 watt inverter, that's an interesting question. Thank you. I appreciate that, MJ. Capacity. Yeah. Louisiana hiker. I don't know if you've been around the last few lives, but I'm kind of arriving in that space. I find comfort in 500 watt hours, but I think 1,000 is what would get me from sundown to sunup on most of my device power draws, because my internet uses about 20 watts. My TV uses about 40. That's really the main thing we power for any significant amount of time. I also feel like a fridge could get by on that. That surge every now and then using 150 watts. That could kind of get by throughout the night. Barely, but it could get by strategically. So the EB240 at $1,000. That's 2.4 kilowatts. That's about 50 cents a watt hour, because you're not going to get the full 2.4. I mean, 50 cents a watt hour is a good look any day. I don't think you could get anything comparable to that unless you buy a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo or something like that. And Sateki and Alcatel have devices that are kind of in that phase, or at least they were like 2-3 weeks ago. And it can also get in on paper up to 500 watts of solar. It's a little bit interesting to get there, but I haven't tested that yet. I kind of want to, and I may test it this summer. It's just so annoying. I find it hard to stop my solar input to test stuff. And I do it, but I find it a little hard. I think it's okay. What else could you spend $1,000 on? You could spend $1,000 on a Delta. The original one, and that'll get you like 1,200 watt hours, but it gives you a better inverter. I think it's a good look. It's a good look, just price per watt hour. I dig it. EcoFlow or Blue Eddy. Haven't just watched the Will Prowse video. I do still think that the Delta Pro. Wait. So you mean in general? Because I don't really choose sides like that. Like I own the EV70 and the River Max. I think that EcoFlow is doing the most tech forward stuff. Bluetti is kind of right in the middle, and Jackery is in. I don't even know if I would put Jackery on the podium because that's how kind of slow they're moving. But those things work, man. I mean, I don't hear many people complaining about the Jackery. I try to find some positive in all of that stuff, but they work. So me being a techie, I would certainly choose to go with the more technologically advanced option. And that Delta Pro is pretty much at the top of its game as far as like features and things like that. But, right, this freaking AC300, um, sorry, excuse me. This AC300 can take in, according to Hobotech's video, 2,400 watts of solar because it has two MPPTs in it. I don't know if that's still true. Hobotech doesn't necessarily do a whole lot of update videos. And I haven't been in the Hobotech crew for a while. I guess I could search in there to see if he said something, but it all comes down to your needs. But arbitrary kind of like general picking, I would go EcoFlow because of how tech forward they are. And then Bluetti, I would put in the number 2 spot. Capacity. Okay. I will watch. There you go. Boom. What's up, DeMarco? I hate to bring this up, but there's a war going on right now. What solar generator is good to be prepared for anything right now? I would say just basic, like making some assumptions about what people will use this stuff for if like stuff got real, because then a lot of your luxuries kind of go out of the window. I feel like, you can't go wrong with even an AC200P, but I would say the AC200 Max, right? That's kind of like that's like the best all around power station before you get into spending like $3,000. You know what I mean? Like that EcoFlow Delta Pro Kickstarter price of $2,000, hands down, washes everything. And to wash, I have to be mindful of my culture but to wash means to put them hands on somebody and to beat them badly. I feel like that one, but that's the Kickstarter price. I have a hard time letting go of discounts and sales and stuff like that. But I don't think there's any competition for that AC200 Max right now. I mean, you could entertain an EcoFlow product, but I prefer longevity. So, and that Max is about like $18.99. It's you could even go AC200P, right? And it was on sale a few days ago. I don't know if it still is for like $14.99. So that's the one that I would go with, just to have the ability to kind of do some heavy lifting if you needed to. You could do some heavy lifting if you had the solar input capacity. It's like you got the ability to bring in, I think, like 900 watts of solar, and then the extra like 500 if you buy the DC whatever interface. I mean, if you buy all those panels, or if you get those panels together, you could run your AC off of solar. You could, you know what I mean? So that's what I would do. If I wanted something that I could feel sure about, I would go AC200 Max. Yep. Sateki is coming up and cheap. Yeah, they're like really a good and they seem to be very responsive to the issues. I really like the way Sateki handled that issue that Jasonoid pointed out, which was that this smaller power station wasn't charging well from a 100-watt panel. I'm starting to believe that these companies over there, they do not care to use rigid panels, which is weird, because I feel like those panels are kind of made over there too, but whatever. It's planes on a snake. Yeah, the Pro is nice, man. It's huge. me having like I have a basement, first floor and second floor. That's interesting. I don't know where I would put something like that. What I would do with it, I'm not sure how I would handle that. I don't know if I would want it on my main floor because it could run an air conditioner, and I'm all about that. I'm in this non stuff is crazy landscape because stuff is getting interesting now. But before that, I like the idea of using the sun to run creature comforts. I love that idea. I love having my modem, my internet going, entertainment, my TV, my kids' Xboxes and stuff like that. I wish I could power my kids' whole room off of solar because they don't have nothing in there, like a fan, a camera for the baby or something like that. It's like literally nothing going on in there. Dun, 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 dun. Mm, 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 mm. I'm an over the road truck driver with golf cart house batteries and a 1500-watt inverter. Okay, I get it. Are you in the market for like getting something fancier, Louisiana hiker? Because those batteries and stuff are always on sale, and you're already familiar with the batteries and the inverter approach. But for the most part, the money that you would spend on a decent battery and inverter, I mean, you already got the inverter, so that's not an expenditure that you have to endure. You could probably just update your batteries to something like LifePo, and you may not even have to do that. But I know if you had to go out and buy something from scratch, like you needed the batteries and the inverter, then you might as well get it in a pretty package. You know what I mean? Because the prices are somewhat comparable to the last time I endeavored to kind of do the math. Uh, uh, uh. But it's a bit too much right now. Yeah, it's like I could do the hypothetical thing, but I ain't got them coins. I was excited to hear about the EB70S, but the screen didn't change. Yeah, I that EB70S is interesting. I like the fact that they seem to have had the components laying around to be able to update it, but it would have been nice if they put some of the features of the EB55 in there, like gave it a proper update. They went the Apple route with this like 4S, 5S stuff. It's like this incremental bump in features. And I respect that because then if you didn't have an iPhone or you didn't have an EB70 and you went to buy that dip and you got the kind of slightly improved one, then, God bless you. But most of us who have the EB70 got it cheaper. So it's like, is it worth the extra money to have had those few minor improvements, or do we feel more content with the fact that we got them for like $499, right? At least like some of the OG EB70 owners. I want a bigger system, yeah, especially when you have one. Okay, I got you. It's kind of what you compare things to. Lipo battery can give the performance, that's for sure. Yeah, that's fact. For war preparedness, add up the watts you have to have and find a power station with at least that many watt hours. Yeah. Yeah. The key thing is have to have. If stuff got interesting, um, there's not a whole lot we need to do. We just need to run like fridges and internet, you know what I mean? And some entertainment for the kids, which I have covered pretty well. Like I got like little um I got a 32-inch TCL that uses like 15 watts. You know what I mean? I have a Samsung 24-inch monitor that uses comparable. So I could power their little setup for nothing. You know what I mean? As long as the sun, and my kids don't get down with a whole lot of TV anyway. So, we should be fine in that regard. The main thing is, refrigeration and, heating and cooling, but we can manage that too for the most part. You know what I mean? It gets real. Awesome question as I'm here in the kitchen canning. Hey, that's what's up. It's funny because my wife, we don't have a canner, but we got like jars for days because she would make baby food. And she will buy those jars. She would make elderberry juice. She moved on to juice from the syrup. So we have jars for that because she intended to sell the juice. So we have jars. So when there was that like jar shortage, I didn't necessarily feel it. We didn't need jars to begin with, but we do have some. Oh wait, what I miss? I missed something that has y'all canning? I need to get hip on that. All right, maybe I just missed it. Hey, Dominique, Neek. With the EcoFlow Pro, you will find somewhere to put it. I'm sure I would. I would kick the couch out. I would be content with another AC200P. I dig it. Man, I wish those dips would go on sale again, the refurbished ones, because I would certainly jump at the chance. I should have jumped at the chance when it came around, but I just wasn't in a state of mind to do that. I wasn't in a state of mind to do that at all. Uno momento. Let's see. Because even though I don't have much to talk about, I did kind of put a list together. Oh, you know what? I wanted to just in the moment, like, man, thank you guys so much for rocking with me, for watching the content. And there's been some new people who will watch my 4 Patriots video, and some folks that will watch like the stuff for beginners. And they paid me very cool compliments of being able to like plain speak or speak in a way that people could understand who are not super tech savvy. And people have talked about me saving them money and stuff like that because they were thinking about buying a particular device. They was thinking about buying the 4 Patriots, but then they said, well, let me go and see what the reviews are saying. And then they would see my video and be like, no bueno. So that's a good feeling, because that's ultimately what I got into YouTube for, to be able to make videos to help inform. I was talking to Cowdog Connoisseur earlier today, and me and her have been talking over a while. Like when the EcoFlow first went on sale way back when on Costco, when it went on sale for Costco, she was kind of like trying to debate on what would be a good purchase and all that jazz. And we had just been kind of working through it. Life happens and all that jazz, but we kind of got her squared away. And it wasn't me telling her what to buy. It was me being able to like help her to understand, the capacity, the capabilities, and be able to make her own decisions. So that's kind of why I'm not into really reviewing products. And suggesting things, and no knock on people who do that. You know what I mean? I dig that 100%. But I think there's variables that matter. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what if the device you want is not available? Then you have to be able to realistically consider, okay, what are the alternatives? Okay, there's a video out there about this. I know that this has boom, boom, and boom, but this has boom, boom, and boom. So instead of me just saying, you need to buy the Delta Pro, well, you understand that there's a Delta Pro out there. There's the AC200 Max, there's the AC200P, there's the AC300, there's a Delta from EcoFlow. And then you can look at all of those features, watch those videos. Some of those videos I haven't made because I'm not big enough to have access to those devices, but that's the whole goal, right? You know what I mean? If you're looking for something in a certain price range and I have a video on it, I want you guys to be able to make decisions on your own, not just buy what somebody said to buy. And it's okay if you do that too, because sometimes people don't want to do the work. I've always talked about the fact that I'm really intentional with my coins. Some of you guys are too. And then some of you guys, you need something and you go do it. And I understand that 100%. I don't knock that at all. That's not my style. But I want to be able to inform people so that they can make decisions on their own. So it's felt really good for people to be like, hey, I appreciate you making this video. This video helped me. I appreciate you responding to the comment. You've been helpful. Because that's why I got into YouTube, to focus on like solar, keeping it simple, and these power stations, these kind of ready-made solutions versus things you have to build. Because I have the capacity. I think we all, for the most part, have the capacity to learn, but I don't, I don't want to learn that. I just want to keep it simple, keep it easy. Dun, 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 dun. What's up, Black Plumber? Good to see you, man. Diva, what's happening? I finally caught one of your lives. Yeah, I did one on a weekend. I had an opportunity to kind of go live and I took it, even though I ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm just winging it out here in these streets. Oh man, it does me well to have people who appreciate the content, and I hope that that translates into people being able to like share the videos and like the videos and enjoy the content so that they can kind of pass it on to other people and just come in and hang out and get the information that you need to make the kind of decisions that people need to make sure that they feel safe and secure in whatever it is that they want to feel safe and secure in as it relates to solar power. Um, yeah, good times, right? Good times. I have not made any real because I'm 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 really kind of still annoyed with the EcoFlow River Max, not for any reason or drawback of the device itself, but it's just it gets so full so quickly. So I'm still kind of weighing things and all that jazz. I haven't really kind of decided where I wanted to go. If I wonder if during the next round of refurbished things that MaxOak.net does, if there'll be an AC200 Max there in a decent price. Now, Bluetti did reach out to me and they were like, "Hey, we're hoping to give you a discount so you can beta test a product or products. I want to see what they're offering because I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I haven't heard back from them on that. Maybe they're waiting for their AC200P to go off sale." So we'll just see how that goes. The Alcatel, I don't know if I told y'all, the Alcatel is on the way. The P501, the one that would have been my second choice. I would have preferred the CN505, which is more like the Babine. But they're sending me this one out. And so I'm looking forward to testing it. The main thing that I'm going to be interested in is looking at it from the standpoint of the smart list, because the smart list is lithium ion, it's not lipo, and this Alcatel P5 or whatever is not lipo as well. So I'm kind of going to be weighing that to see which one I kind of want to keep around, if I'll get rid of one. But I think I will, because I'm not going to want to have two of those devices, because I barely use the smart list now. So it's either the smart list is going to stick around or the Alcatel is going to stick around. And the smart list, I believe, has dual charging, but it has a weird port. And the Alcatel, I don't think it has dual charging. I don't think it has USB-C charging, and it has a weird port as well. So we'll see how that goes. What's up, Paycheck? I know, right? It's been a while, man. How are those devices treating you? I feel like, how many do you have now? I know you have an EB70, but you also have a EB240. Good afternoon, faith, family, and fun. What's the difference on parallel and series with panels? It's almost like, it's not that it's there's a okay. I would say, in respect to what my channel is about, it's more so about your power station, because there are implications for series and parallel, but that has to do with voltage and amps. Like, I'm not a specialist in this area, but I feel like amps are current. The higher it gets, it requires larger cables, and volts you can send for a long distance over smaller cables. So it's an interesting thing. Some smaller power stations, you cannot even use series with them because they can't take the voltage. I have a couple videos on that. My video on the basics of solar panels may talk about that as well. But you may want to check out those videos. But give me some context. I can't just answer in a general sense. I'm thinking about topping off my device suit with the EcoFlow River Pro. Interesting. Costco still has a better price, but tomorrow's the last day for the $429 price. I dig that. Four and looking for one more. Just don't know which. Which four do you have, Paycheck? That's interesting. That's true. I'm talking about the EcoFlow River Pro. Oh, thank you, MJ. I appreciate that. So wait. I got a couple of like old school people in here. I need some help from y'all. This is a complete deviation from the subject matter. Childish Gambino has a song called Feels Like Summer. And the chorus on that song is kind of driving me crazy because it reminds me of a song and I can't figure out what that cadence reminds me of. So if any of you guys who kind of like rock with R&B, particularly not oldies, but just kind of like older R&B, please go listen to that song, listen to the chorus, and let me know what that song reminds you of. The one thing I get closest to is this song by I forgot his name just that quick, something weird, but I just want to get close to you. It kind of sounds like that, but anyway, that's a whole deviation. I need help though. I need help. I'm new to this. So faith, family, and fun. Do you not have anything? Do you not have panels? Do you not have a power station yet? Hey, Saya, what's up, buddy?
Hi.
How you doing? Mm-hmm. Pizza?
Yeah.
Wait for mommy to come in, man. Which four devices do you have, Diva? I know your team Eco. Do you have anything that's not an Eco? EcoFlow. Okay. Got the EB70, the Babine, the Bluetti 240, and the 150. Interesting. I dig that. Cable gauge and length play a huge part in amps. Could be the difference in the fire. Yeah, you definitely need the proper size cables to carry large amps. But again, with regard to, you got to turn it down. Again, with regard to power stations, you have certain limitations. Now, if you're building your own system, then it gets a little more interesting. He's saying hi to the people, hi to the people. So, just in a basic sense, oh, what's wrong, Mama? You okay? I need you to talk normal. Okay? You go look around for it. And if you left it in the car, mommy can help you. How much you looking to spend, Paycheck? Paycheck saying looking for something with a 2000 watt inverter. You and me both, man. You and me both.
Go get your phone out of the car.
The family just arrived, so that's why I'm distracted.
I'm sorry.
And she's on the phone. Wayne says hello.
Hey, Wayne. Are you live?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. All the peoples. MJ says hi. Okay, so you have the Energizer 320 and the AQSC panel. Okay. So, right, okay. So series is when I have a video on how to connect panels in series and parallel. But when you connect panels in series, it combines the voltage. And when you connect panels in parallel, it combines the amps. You typically don't want to combine really more than 3 panels in parallel without some like fuses and stuff like that. Hey, Mama. You okay? All right. So, but when you connect, typically what people do is they'll put two panels in parallel. That's kind of because, like, even with me watching something like the Delta Pro video, I think it can take in 150 volts and maybe 15 amps, right? So it's like you don't go really high in the amp rating, or you need some serious cables to carry that power. So typically what your normal person would do is they'll connect two panels in parallel. You need a cable to connect them in parallel. Typically panels, 100-watt panels have about 5 amps. 200-watt panels can do about 9 to 12 amps, right? So when you connect them, then they combine the amps. So let's say you buy a 200-watt panel or two 200-watt panels, which is kind of out of your, let's just deal with the 100 watts. You could take that Energizer, but there's no reason to do anything with parallel. You can't do series because the voltage limit on that device is at about 30 volts. You kind of got to watch the video about the panels to understand this stuff. I have a video about it. You should check it out. I feel like I'm rehashing it, so I don't need to rehash it if I have the video out there. LA Times, what's happening? The Zendure is 2,000 watts. Runs about 1,100. Does it really? Is that because it's still being crowdfunded? I haven't heard a whole lot about that. I mean, I've seen it and it was being advertised, but I don't see a whole lot about it anymore. So you kind of got to be careful with stuff like that. I don't know much about Zendure anyway. I think Rhea mentioned them on the last live. 2,000-watt inverter. Yeah. Is that doubt I hear in your voice, Sir Wayne? Dan D says, I have two EcoFlow Delta 1300s, a Go Labs 300, and I have a Big Blue 500 on the way. Nice. One thing happened with the Big Blue that I have to test. It was showing more capacity than it had. I have a video out there. I'm gonna put the video up on Patreon soon. Right now, what I'm doing for the most part is I just put public posts on Patreon. Patreon is a paid membership thing. If you want to support the creator, it's not something you guys have to do. Some people have opted. I think I have 4 patrons now, which is cool. Thank you to those people. So I use that to put content over there for them and also for people who just go over there and check out. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to pay anything to view the free post or the public post, right? But I had an issue with the Big Blue where it would show a percentage on the screen, but it's basically inaccurate. It'll show us at 70%. What is this, Mama? Do you want this? I know, me either. I don't want it. Why you give it to me? This is gross. So let's say it showed like 60%, but then you unplug it and it dies. I don't know if that's because I need to power cycle it again. So that's what I'm going to do. I had a relatively decent sunny day today. Like I said, I don't like plugging power stations into the wall. So tomorrow is going to be a really good Sunday. So I'm going to probably use my EB120 to power dump or to charge up my Big Blue off of AC just to get it full. I'll probably use like the AC adapter from the Big Blue, and I'll charge it from like 2 USB-C adapters to get that full like 220 watts into it. So I can do it relatively fast. Boom, dizzle, I kill it. What's up, Lee? Looking to get the Jackery 1000 watt. Is it any good, please? No. It's not bad, but I don't think it's any good. How much is that thing? Like $900? The Jackery 1000. I tell you one thing about the Jackery 1000. It's the highest Jackery. No, don't put that on my computer. It's the highest Jackery to actually take a regular 8 millimeter cable. The 1500 in the 2000 take Jackery's special 8mm cable. And I think you have to ask them to send it. And Minuteman Prep on one of his videos said that they're not sending them out anymore. It's like, or maybe they ran out. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it's very interesting. The Jackery 1000, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that I wouldn't buy one. I think there's quite a few devices I would consider before I considered a Jackery 1000. Why do you want it? You know what I mean? Let's start there. Who's that? Hey, boo. Who's that to? Still pre-orders. I wouldn't spend too much because most buy for emergencies. Did he sleep?
Not really. Neither one.
Interesting.
Keep it up, you go for your nap now.
And it may sit while the warranty runs out. Yeah, that's in one of my tips videos. I did a solar power tips video. And I was like, y'all still got these things in the boxes? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? No judgment, though. Little judgment.
How
What's
long
up?
you
You seem like you about to say something. What you about to do?
I'm gonna load the car.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
How long you gonna be?
Since you just got here.
An hour.
Yeah. Just give you a hot 60. You know what I mean? Has anyone ever thought about hanging flex panels outside of their windows? I have a video on that. I didn't hang it, but it does get power better outside of my window than it does inside. Some people had some really good suggestions on that window. Some people talked about like Velcro. I don't know what the other ones were. I can't remember it, but I have a Sun Power flex panel video. I have two of them. The original one about the video and the one hanging the stuff out of the window or whatever. And there's a suggestion or two on there. I feel like one of them may be from LA Times about hanging panels outside of your window. Boom, 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 boom. What's up, Kevin? The Childish Gambino has a Marvin Gaye vibe. A few different songs. Yeah, it's that chorus though. Something about it reminds me of a song that I can't peg. It's a dope song, by the way. I have the EcoFlow Delta Max 2000. I thought I wanted the Delta Pro. I don't think I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be too big and heavy. That's a good point. What you smiling at?
I forgot I said this was the reason why you asked how my ETA was.
Right, because I ain't want, you know what I mean? I didn't want to jump on live and then y'all was going to be pulling up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I thought it was like you was being thoughtful. Like, let me go run get a slushy, or let me go run get some flowers, or I thought you was being thoughtful for me.
That would be good. Those are all good suggestions.
I know. Especially after, video and stuff.
Oh, I know, right? You putting business out there in the street. Yeah, that's a fair point. Touche. Jackery has the best inverters. Interesting. The plot thickens. Really? Are they like really efficient? That's a good selling point. It's because it's like I'm not a fan of Jackery, but I don't hate them. You know what I mean? I think that it's all kind of relative. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm always looking for pros and cons for these things. So if they have really good inverters, that'd be nice to know. I guess so, because this Jackery 300, it's rated at 293 watt hours. It could be like overrated, but that's whatever. Babe, you around? Adele. Come here, mama. Hey, Ivan. I need you to go close the bathroom door for me, please. That's interesting. What I was saying is they have a 293 watt hour battery, and I think in one of the tests that Hobotech did, the dip it gave like 290 watt hours of that battery. It was like a stupid, crazy high efficiency. I need you to go close the bathroom door. Pay attention, man. What's happening, brother? Interesting. All right. I'm gonna have to make a note because I gotta figure this out. Costco has the EcoFlow on sale online till 227. 227. Oh yeah, well that's going away. But they're gonna keep coming back. At least that's been the pattern. You know, they have them, they go on sale, they go away. And when they go away, it's like there's no hint of anything EcoFlow on their site. And then all of a sudden you got the EcoFlow Pro and the Max and the Delta and the you know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of like the actual River Pro and the Delta Pro. It's a whole thing. Mercy me. Yeah, it's the cadence of the chorus, that sound. I'm not gonna sing because yeah, I'm not that guy, but I'm not even gonna hum it. Would you ever consider a power wall eventually? I thought about the power wall. Here's my issue with the power wall. As far as I know, that thing requires internet connectivity. Once I kind of heard that, I was just like, man, charge Tesla. I still want a Tesla. I just want an EV, and Tesla makes some of the best ones. But their cars require internet too. Me being a bit of a privacy person, I'm just like, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not. I don't need you knowing everything that's going on. I don't need you always connected to my car and my power wall. I don't even think you could get the power wall anymore by itself. You have to get the solar and the power wall. I think what someone was saying, it could have been 2-bit Da Vinci or Undecided with Matt Farrell. Somebody speculated that the margins for profit on the power wall were like thin, but the margins for profit on solar were better, or vice versa. So they decided to pair them together, which I think was stupid. It's like she's gonna get down for like 2 minutes and then be like, let me back. I remember when the Powerwall first came out, me being as silly and as uninformed as I was. I remember calling up my electric company and being like, man, do y'all have time of use? Like, who would want time of use? You're going to spend 10 grand on a battery just to store power so you could use it at night. You know what I mean? It's like, or use it during the day when electricity is high. It's like, man, having my power be at about 14 cents is a blessing. I don't need time of use. And they're starting to talk about time of use now. But PA being as interesting as it is, I don't think power costs are going to kind of get out of line, because we even have the ability to choose our providers, which is something that I'm dealing with now. My current supplier, yeah, provider, supplier, whatever. They want to raise my price per kilowatt from like 7 cents, 7 point something cents to 11, a little over 11 cents. And that's only one half of the equation. My actual electric company still charges me for having the stuff delivered, right? So the supply cost is 7 cents, and then the delivery of that power has been 7 cents. So I've been spending about 14 cents, and then this supplier wants to raise it up to almost 12 cents, kind of closer to 11 cents. So I'm probably going to go back with my company, which is saying that they're going to do 7 cents. But people are talking about electricity and the cost of whatever, gas, all that jazz is going to start to go up because of the conflict over there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. And I don't know if it's a real thing or if it's just one of those things where it's like in response to it, speculation. Because I don't know if you know how all that stuff works. I barely know how that stuff works, but the cost of oil per barrel and all that jazz kind of plays into all that stuff. Yeah, we can't get the 1500 for the 2000 in the UK. I hear that. They do seem more efficient. I try to say that fast. But Bluetti has better battery life. Yeah, still lithium ion cells in those jackeries, which is kind of interesting. It just depends, if you need something that's lighter versus something that's has more longevity. You know what I mean? I feel like Jackery made their bread and butter on people who are out in the out in the vans and the RVs and stuff. You know, kind of like Goal Zero. They were like the first to do it. I think Jackery was the first to do it well. Nice. The first to do it really well and kind of affordable because Goal Zero's prices are off the chain. I agree. That's definitely use your devices so you can be familiar with them. You want to kind of understand their limitations, and because they're not magic. A lot of people think and want them to power stuff that they're not going to be able to power, and that's kind of why I did those videos for beginners. I don't think I would ever build my own Powerwall, Wayne. I'm not a fan of the 18650 batteries and putting them in the thing and all of that jazz. And then there's like the cells you can buy from China. It's like I'm an extremely patient person, but I'm also an impatient person when it comes to stuff like that. I don't want to wait 6 to 8 to 12 to like weeks for a battery to get here. Only I have to put it together, to have to put a BMS on it, to have to put fuse blocks on it and breakers and all that jazz. I'm just like, dude, ain't nobody got time for that. I got bronchitis. My EcoFlow is now only on Bluetooth. Which EcoFlow did you have, Sleeper? I just put my EcoFlow on Wi-Fi. I don't know how long it's gonna stay there, but because it's such a peculiar situation that I talked about on the last live and my tips and tricks for EcoFlow, I put it on Wi-Fi for a little bit. I put it on my guest Wi-Fi though. I didn't put it on my main network. So it's on a network that is internet facing, but not my internal network facing. If you have like Fios, or even you probably even have that with like Cox and Comcast and so on and so forth, where you can create a guest network for people who come to your home to visit, but you don't want them on your network, kind of, because people can discover devices on your network and all that jazz. And I'm sure, the average person is not going to be doing that, but I put it on my guest network. Boom, pow. It seems like the EcoFlow Delta 1300 is being blown out. I got one along with a 110 watt panel for $9.99 from HSN about a month ago. That's not bad. The EcoFlow Delta doesn't have the ability to be, it pulls a lot of power. That was a concern that some people expressed. Hobotech, in one of his videos for the EcoFlow Pro, I believe, he made the point that he was out traveling and he was trying to power up really quickly from like a friend's house or something like that, and it kept blowing his friend's circuit breaker box or whatever it is. But it's intriguing. It's certainly intriguing, especially for that inverter capacity. I'm in Michigan. I'm thinking about using solar batteries during the day to avoid the daytime price hikes. It's getting crazy now. Plus, they're starting to charge people for using solar now. That is bananas to me. I saw that on a video I was watching. Someone in California. The video's in my history. It's an interesting thing. I think I may have even made a post about it in my earlier community post stage. But it was a whole thing. I was in this conversation with this other black dude because I subscribe to the idea. Let's just kind of delve into it a little bit. And I've said this before. I subscribe to the idea that 2-Bit Da Vinci shared, which is electric companies paying you a dollar for dollar, and they're not paying you, but I don't want to be technical here, right? They're giving you a dollar credit, a 1-to-1 credit in some places. Some places are not doing that anymore. They're going away with it. But if you produce a kilowatt, then you get credit for a kilowatt, right? And he made the point that he doesn't see that as sustainable, and it doesn't even necessarily feel fair in terms of business. Now, there are like incentives. The government kind of plays a role in that, and subsidies and all that jazz. But at the end of the day, if I could get power wholesale at 3 cents a kilowatt, right? but I'm getting power from you. Granted, I may need it, I may not need it, me being an electric company, but I got to give you 12 to 14 cents a kilowatt or 8 cents a kilowatt or whatever it is. Why do I have to pay you at retail for something that I could get from somewhere at wholesale? And I felt like there's some middle ground there that needs to be accomplished. And somebody made a really good point about that. The real interesting thing we need to be looking at is why can electric companies get power so cheaply and then hike it up almost 3 and 4 times and sell it to us? That's the part that doesn't seem fair. You know what I mean? It's like, but you know, I do agree that I think that stuff's gonna go away. Getting a 1-to-1 valuation for the power you produce, because your power, it's like, fam, if I could buy t-shirts, if I could get a box of t-shirts for my t-shirt printing business for pennies on the whatever, but then you want to sell them to me at 20 cents a shirt. And I started out that because I needed shirts from you. But at some point, if I could go back to getting shirts for 3 cents a shirt, why do I have to keep paying you 20 cents a shirt? It's like, that don't make no sense. Why would that continue to be a thing? So that's how I feel about the whole thing. It's and some people don't think of things in terms of business. They just get accustomed to getting a deal. They get accustomed, myself included, they get accustomed to getting something for a certain price for cheap, and then they can't kind of unwind. They feel like they're being treated unfairly. And it's like, well, you shouldn't have been being charged that from the get-go. And you shouldn't have been getting that from the get-go. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a whole thing how this whole capitalism stuff works, but it's very interesting. Let me see what y'all snapping and trapping about. Somebody gave your boy some coins, stacks. I appreciate you, man. Good to see you around here. I actually thought about you. Bring me that, please. Watch your sister. Thank you, buddy. This is what I record my videos on, y'all. A little action camera. I think Prepping on the Creek records his on one of these too. Yes. No, I can't come right now. What you need? The pizza?
Hello?
Okay, you have to wait until mommy comes around, okay? When she comes around, make sure you ask. Oh, that's what he's asking about? Stacks. Thank you, sir. I commented, I thought about you earlier when I was going live, but we don't have a direct means of communication. I was saying message me somewhere so I could hit you up when I'm about to go live. As long as that, I mean, that's, it's manageable now. You know what I mean? Let me see what you said. You said something. Oh, okay. Boom. I appreciate you, man. I'm super grateful. Hey, 2%. Hey, LVP. What's happening? Ladies and yeah, you are, but you here. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Okay, Michigan, we got that. Mama, go sit in that one. Oh, don't be like that. She's trying to cop a squat. Mama, go sit in that one.
Come on.
She's probably tired. Our local power company offers rebates on the purchase of qualified generators, solar, gas, and propane. Interesting. I don't understand how the electric company is charging people for having solar. Now, one thing that I did come across is this idea and this concept that even with solar panels, in a state like California, all of those panels are producing power, but we still don't need the power during the day. It produces the power when nobody needs it. So it's like, and then you paying people at retail for the power that they're producing. I'm not saying that's the case in California, but it's like nobody's home to use the power. I mean, the pandemic has been one thing, people being home and all that jazz. But it's a real interesting thing. And because as a society in general, we are all, most of us are unreasonable. It's hard to have these conversations with people. But how do you charge people for having solar panels? I guess the lines, maintaining the lines and the electricity flowing through them and all that jazz. It's all interesting. I try to be reasonable. My people think the power stations are magic for sure. That's right. What you making for dinner, MJ? I mean, don't come back from making dinner to tell me. That's,
I'm like, what's he making?
my wife is like, what y'all making?
I thought you was asking me what I was making. I was giving you the side eye.
The EcoFlow Pro is now LiPo. What are you making for dinner?
What you making?
I'm gonna make a run. That's what I'm gonna make.
Yeah.
If you putting it on me, I ain't cooking.
I'm cooking when I go grocery shopping.
Oh, that's what you did today? You went grocery shopping? I thought you just went to pick up stuff. I don't know. I didn't know that.
Same thing.
That's not the same thing, babe. It's not the same thing. Driving up to Sam's Club and having somebody put stuff in your car is the same as grocery shopping. That's where you're going with it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I disagree, but you got it. As they say, you got it. What?
No.
What thing? Oh man, lay in the mud. That's something we say in the inno, but you know how that goes. Lingo and stuff travels, for sure. I'm like it's like son made it down there. Everybody was somebody's son. I'm just like, man, shut up. Thanks for the super chat. Look at 2% earning her imaginary paycheck. She thanking people for super chats. I see you, 2%. 2% be saying hello to people, welcoming folks in. Wayne be doing it. Look, y'all are superstars, rock stars, earning all y'all paycheck.
You got a great community, babe.
Silver Surfer, what up, my man? My man. I think so. What's that?
I just love good people.
Hey, man. Everybody good until you cut them off in traffic, though. So y'all good peopleness may be in question.
Traffic, and I'm cool. I'm still cool.
Yeah, because you're a good person.
And that's what I'm talking about, your community.
But you don't know if they're good people. You're just assuming.
Well, I feel like 2% is decent to have done that. Like, that takes a certain, like, personality and temperament, and you know what I mean? Like,
2%. Do you cuss people out when they cut you off on the freeway?
Keep it 100.
Keep it a buck. Let's scroll down and see what she says. My love is free.
True.
That was the last step of her grocery shopping. That was not. That's all she. Did you go in any grocery store?
I did, actually, but even if I didn't,
I don't think that's grocery shopping.
It is grocery shopping. Would we have groceries if I hadn't done that? You
went and picked up groceries.
Yes.
You didn't go grocery shopping.
I mean, just because I didn't physically go this time. Well, I did today. But if I hadn't, I had to go through the process of doing it on my app.
That's when you were shopping.
Pay for it and all that. Shopping. I had to schedule for the pickup. And I went and did it.
You went and picked it up. Yeah. It was parsed out. If you want.
It's like just because the old school or the regular way of grocery shopping is, you know what it is, going up and down the aisles and picking stuff out and going to the lines and blah blah. Like I went grocery shopping.
You didn't go grocery shopping.
I did actually go grocery shopping.
Well, you did today, but going to pick up something is not grocery shopping.
Yes, it is.
I'm not going to allow it. I'm not. No, it's not. It's not.
Yes. Oh, how was it not?
Babe, I can't say I went shopping for clothes if we went to the store and you did all the shopping and I just paid for it. I didn't go shopping for clothes. Well, let's say I was in the car, right?
You stayed in the car.
You went into the dip and shop for clothes, and then I'm on here saying, "Yeah, I went shopping for clothes today, y'all." You would be like, "You did not go shopping." Well, that would be different
because you literally put forth no effort. Like you ain't put no thought or effort into anything that was purchased. So if you had done some things like online or something like that and picked out a few items and so on and so forth, then yeah, you could say, yeah, I went clothes shopping, even though when we got there,
But is
you
the
stayed
trip
in the car.
is the trip to go pick the stuff up considered shopping? Or is that one part of shopping?
I don't understand why you're trying to like parse it out.
Yes, sir.
Can I have the same thing?
What's that? What they call?
Waffles.
Yes. I didn't think he was going to know the name.
He said, I ain't playing with these jokers. I know what these snacks is. I'm leaning back like I was about to pop him on the forehead. She did go shopping. She did not. And Diva, you're showing me how unreasonable you are by agreeing with her.
Well, hold up. What?
Diva 9000.
Thank you, Diva. And no, you ain't. Don't let him call you unreasonable, because no, ain't nobody unreasonable but him.
What's all this neck movement? What's all of this? Get your neck together. Get all of that.
I'm like starting to feel passion. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you're trying to like shade like the process just because the process has become, you know what I mean, more efficient.
This guy, Dale, you are 100% correct.
My man, of course.
You know why he's saying that?
Because he what?
He's just trying to fuel the flame.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, he is. No, absolutely.
That's my guy, and he know what it is. He know what's up. Thank you.
It's Wayne. One or two things Wayne is doing right now.
I can't wait for another.
He's being a happy wife, happy lifer, which is a clown move, or he's trying to side with my wife to spite me. Wayne does not agree with you.
I think he does. I think most reasonable people, and if I'm waiting for one of the guys to be on your side. I'm looking.
He's right here, Lee, holding it down. She picked up food for the house. That's what you did. You did not go shopping.
She picked up food for the house. Is synonymous with she went grocery shopping. Food, groceries for the house. It is what it is.
It's not, man. It's not.
It is what it is.
Let's see what everybody else talking about. You're not gonna win this one. I don't have to win. I don't have to win. That's okay. But she's not gonna tell me what it. I mean, shopping is shopping. We could go to the definition.
I went shopping.
You getting in the car to go pick some stuff up is not shopping. That's like saying if somebody put food together for you. Dell, I have these groceries that, you know what I mean? Whatever. You can come scoop them up. I got them for you. You feel like you went shopping then?
Well, in that instance, I didn't, because they did all of the work. If I did some of the work, then I contributed to the process
of
getting
picking up the food.
Getting groceries for my home.
Picking up the food is a part of shopping. It is not shopping. You went to pick up the food. I feel like what you're trying to do is just stick strictly to the point of driving, not getting out of your car, opening the joint, and them loading you up, closing the joint, and then riding off. You're trying to stick to that. That's not the only part of the process. Babe, you just said you went grocery shopping. I'm just saying, no, you didn't go grocery shopping.
I did go grocery shopping. Because I didn't go in the traditional sense that we're used to pre-COVID.
I don't know what to say. You know
Somebody said, get the dictionary. I don't know who that was.
Shaking my head to ask God. Y'all, I'm different.
Maria said, I'm going to some of these dumplings.
I'm different. I'm not one of these guys. So, you know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Thank you.
Picking up what
You're welcome.
Picking up what was done. Verb. Action.
I went to public school, so grocery shopping is basically what that read to me.
How you go shopping online?
Okay, you know what? It is cooking if you threw it in the microwave. I don't know where that went. There was a comment where somebody said, okay, so it's cooking because I just threw it in the microwave. Yes.
It must be cooking if I throw it in the microwave.
Yes,
I feel like I don't know if you cooked.
I mean, you ain't cooked in the traditional food. I mean, if it's raw chicken like you used to do, then yeah, you cook.
Thug life, you know what I mean? I ain't saying about it.
Like
I endeavor and I cook chicken like raw in the microwave.
Chicken. In the microwave. Who? I used to feel like, is that even possible?
It's like, you know what I mean? What does that have to
Oh
do?
my goodness.
What
So
we
Don,
talking
yes,
about?
it is cooking. So give yourself some cool points for cooking.
She started online, then picked it up. So she did go shopping.
Thank you.
If she went to the
My man
store,
Wayne.
if she went to Sam's, sat in her car, picked the stuff out,
Yeah.
in that process that she went shopping. But even still, I kind of want to nitpick because to go shopping, I didn't shop. To say I shopped for groceries and I picked them up, that's one thing. But to go shopping, the verb is go. You didn't go
Which
anywhere.
I did.
You sat on the couch, you shopped, and then you picked up what you did.
I went and picked up.
Yeah, but that's not the shopping part. You went.
That's
and
a
you
part
picked
of the
up.
shopping process.
I went and I shopped for groceries.
Now
That's
it'd be
what I
different
did.
if we got the groceries delivered to us. Maybe I don't
know
even know
what?
if I can say that because I wait a minute because I
Just
went
go.
online.
Just go. Get out of here. Get out
I
of here,
went
hand.
online
Black
I
hand.
shopped.
Get out of here, black hand.
and they delivered the groceries. Thank you for the deviation, y'all. I know there may be some people who's like, "Can we talk about solar, please?" You still got them folks?
No, I don't. They think it. They probably think it, but they don't say it because they're respectful people.
Oh, you can still say it. It's no harm.
Don't be giving people permission on my channel.
Yeah, I feel like say what you feel as long as it's respect. Like you ain't like some other YouTubers. Like
Hey,
you can literally
that's fine.
say how
You're
you
right.
feel and what you're thinking as long as it's respectful and you know what I mean, civil. Like you would handle it well.
She went to her phone to shop.
Who said that? I'm gonna block you. Who said that?
Diva. She on your side
okay, true. Oh, okay. My bad.
though. It looks like you're sleeping on the couch tonight.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah, you know. Well,
Actually, he nipped that in the bud like so early on in marriage. I don't know, like you know, where the idea came from. We beefed about something. I don't know. And I remember thinking to myself, like, well, you need to. He was like, no, nah. If I go sleep on the couch, it's because I choose to sleep on the couch in order for you to be able to have the space. But you're not kicking me out of my own bed. And I'm just like, I didn't like that. But what you going to, you know what I mean? Because he had a point. Like, what was I going to do? I don't know. It just nipped something in the bud that was I'm thankful for because it made me understand and appreciate, you know, how dope you are.
hey, you know. Thank you, baby.
Not that you were completely dope all the way around at that time.
I mean, now we need, you know.
Matter of fact, one last thing before I go. Y'all want to know what our very first beef was? Like what our very first argument was? Our very first argument and beef was like he was online with, you know, one of his friends. She was a female. And she had complimented his lips about like how juicy his lips were and so on and so forth. And he ain't check her. Like he a whole married man now. And he ain't say nothing. He just kind of kept it moving, probably felt all good. And you know what I mean? And I get that. But he ain't check her. He ain't let her know that was inappropriate. You know, you can't come at me that way. What? Ain't say nothing. I'm looking at him sideways like, excuse me, sir? No. That was probably what happened when you was like, yeah, you're not kicking me out of my bed. That was probably the first situation.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Because I would have been like pissed enough to be like, I don't want to sleep next to you tonight. I want distance from you.
Maybe.
If you can't handle your business, then something got to shake. But that was our first beef. Can you imagine? Like,
I feel like women cannot imagine, but I feel like guys could imagine. It's like I had never been married before. Would I look like checking a nobody about something that's meaningless to me? It's like that's what she's used to. It's like it didn't even compute. Like I need to be like, hold up, stop. I had no practice.
You don't need practice.
I'm not defending myself. I should have said something.
Oh,
but in the moment, it was just like, yeah, I mean, like, what do I do? Now, one thing is,
that's what you do.
One thing is, I feel like if it would have continued, then I would have been like, because she didn't know I was married. You know what I mean? It's like
that could have been a response. Like,
hey,
you're not married now. Like, I mean, you know, you defending your 20.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I understand my 20-year-old self. I'm not defending him, but I understand. You're a nip stuff in the bud kind of person. I'm not necessarily a nip stuff in the bud kind of person. I get there eventually.
Yeah, I can see that.
Boom. She said she could see it. So
I don't know what it is.
she good money. I'm excited to see y'all comments because I love these deviations. You know what I'm saying. It was online shopping. Don't bring her back over here with this shopping stuff. You won't be grocery eating unless you agree with the wife. Yeah, we don't do that kind of stuff around here. I know that's what TV says, but that's not how we get down. Let's move on now. Thank you, Sleeper. Please, even though your comment is higher up, so we didn't move on. Somebody asked me a solo question. Paco says, I love listening to you guys. Hey, I appreciate the love. 4 kids later, I'm still here. Oh, by the grace of the good Lord. Because, yeah, there's some stuff that certainly could have had me not be here. So I'm thankful to God for that. Fun Saturday afternoon activities. Watching Ask Ive and the Missus. Wayne says, Dell, please partake in more lives. Yeah, we with it. Not on the solar channel, but we could do it on our Riches Reveal channel. Y'all should go subscribe to the Riches Reveal. Boom. Family channel. We actually need to do the marriage channel too. We kind of have all of that stuff set up and we need to start doing that. You don't know what's the hold up for that? More than anything, for me, is I need to get a good wireless microphone system because audio is imperative to be good. Hey guys. And I don't have a good wireless microphone system because we need to be able to communicate separately from each other to kind of keep it super casual. Dun, 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 dun. Of course it is. The live is definitely better with the misses. I used to listen to Bill Burr. I can't listen to him now because he's a foul-mouthed Caucasian.
We love so
yeah, we rock with Bill Burr. That's the homie. But he cusses so much. So I can't watch it. But his wife being there is always a better experience. I love when his wife comes on. Has this been a preview to the couples podcast? I don't think so. We're going to be looking to have conversations there. But I also did think about this idea of like having like candid conversations about our conflict. And I don't know if that would be on the marriage dip or on the Riches Reveal. The marriage podcast or whatever it's going to be, YouTube channel, is called First Comes Marriage. It's not out there yet. But we've like created all the things and all that jazz. But I believe strongly in this idea that having conflict, healthy conflict publicly helps out. And I call it like the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, because when you talk through things, marriage issues, and you even just have another couple there, someone who's on the same page with you and could kind of hear those things out, then it goes over better. People can kind of like relax and it's not as like, you know what I mean? So
don't take things as personal.
Yeah.
Can really listen to what the other person is saying, and other people can interpret for one another what's being said and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So we need to get on it. We are working on it. Nice. Dominique Unique says her husband listens to Bill Burr also. Hey, nice. Good to have you here. Pronounce that Sheila. Straight up no chaser said raw chicken in a microwave. That's thug life for real. Yeah, we were just unsupervised kids in the my sister will vouch for it. It was good too. I mean, you put some seasoning salt on that dip. It was all right. It was legit. I ain't get salmonella poisoning, so that's what's up.
That you know of.
Child of God says she went to the store, so she went shopping. Okay, if that's how you feel about it.
Thank you. Who said that?
Child of God.
And child of God.
Either way, the money gone.
True.
That is a fact. It's no longer here. It looks like, yeah, okay, we got that one. Thank you. This was my entertainment for the night. Wayne says best live ever. Tifa says she did go. She goed online.
I was trying to think of a way to say go in the past tense, but like my mind wasn't moving fast enough. My girl.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. All right. We all caught up. Hey, there you go. Hit the thumbs up, y'all, if you enjoyed yourself. I see ain't nobody got nothing to say about that couch stuff. Y'all kicking men out of their bedrooms and houses and stuff like that, just wilding. Like, man, y'all out of pocket. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see. I wanted to see if this dip is still on. Oh, wait. Did y'all know? I have to do the video on it, but the big blue 100 watt solar panel, which puts out really good output, it's on sale. It off top just costs $199, which I think is the going rate for folding panels, right? But it's on sale for like $180, which I think is cool. That kind of puts it in the Rockpals price range. And I consider some of the Rockpals products to be like budget offerings or more budget friendly offerings. But I like the big blue panel. That thing is nice looking. It has an SAE connector. I'm going to do a video on that soon. I'm probably going to try and do it tomorrow, or at least get the solar footage that I need tomorrow to show its power output. But I was laying that dip flat on the sunny day before the sun was even overhead, and it was producing like 75 watts, which is like dope. I didn't even angle it. I think when I angled it, it went up a little higher. So it was like, maybe it was like 69 or something like that. I'm not sure, but that it was producing pretty good. And it's $180. It's a bifold panel, which means it's easy to deploy, but it takes up a little more space. That Rockpals panel, it's a quad fold panel. It's not as easy to deploy because folding, I mean, it's all relatively easy, but putting out a 4-fold panel is a little more work than a bifold, right? So that dip is on sale. I think that's cool. And y'all already know the big blue is on sale for, wait, they changed the coupon to $70 now. So it's like $330 instead of $310. That's interesting. Yeah, the Rockpals is on sale too. It's $209 with a $30 off coupon. So it brings it down to $180. I would much rather have the big blue than the Rockpals quad fold, but that's just me. The Rockpals video is coming soon though. So it has an interesting benefit for me, and I'm interested in making it work. I'm actually kind of looking forward to having a quad fold panel that has a PD port on it of at least like 45 or 60 watts. I think that would be dope, because then you don't have to necessarily travel with a power station. This is the first. Can you give me some water, babe? Mm-hmm. It's the first live I did with no water. I'm out here. Again. All right. Last question for everyone out there. I already have an AC200P. Would it be a waste of time and money to buy the EcoFlow Delta Pro from the Delta Pro during the sale and sell my AC200P? The EcoFlow Delta Pro is $3,000. So you would sell your AC200P for what? Like $1,000? That's interesting. Nothing a little Marvin Gaye can't fix. What kind of solar panel should I buy for my Go Power Plus? Go Power Plus. That's the cheap dip, right? I wouldn't buy a panel for that. We haven't been able to figure out what size port that thing is. I actually tried to go and find one kind of a few months after all the craze or buzz was surrounding it, so that I could see if any of my adapters fit, so I could tell you guys, but I could never find one. I didn't want one. I have more than enough power stations. Even back then, I had enough power stations to feel like I didn't need to go spend 50, 40, 50, 60 bucks on the Go Power Plus, but I was gonna go get one if it was still cheap, just so I could figure out the plug. That's actually something me and Cow Dog Connoisseur first started talking about. She was like, I can't figure out the port. Do you know? And I was like, nah, I'll do my best. But it's a weird one. I don't think anybody was ever able to kind of put it together. Okay. Thank you. Is that better than the X Star? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think its overall output is going to be better than the X Star, so I don't think it's going to be better laying flat. But as the summer days go on and the sun gets higher, I'll start doing comparison videos. I still need to compare the Renogy Eclipse to, I'm probably going to compare it to the X Star as well, because those are both sun power panels, right? I'm going to compare it to the regular Renogy and all that jazz. I have a lot of solar panel videos to do. At least a good 5. So wait, did I? Okay, yeah, that's the question that Karen answered. I don't know. I tried, but I don't know. But you don't. I mean, that thing is so small. You really don't want to mess around with trying to charge that from solar. There was like that little 13 watt. Somebody said that something Harbor Freight had in like a comment or something like that. Something Harbor Freight sold worked for that Go Power Plus. It was like their adapter kit. And then I had the idea, I was telling Kyle Dog Connoisseur, maybe you want to go to Harbor Freight and see what that, because she was looking for an actual panel, see what that kit has in it. I tried to do it online, but I didn't go to the store or anything. I don't even know if they had the kits near me. But there's something in that kit that works. But that Go Power Plus has a very weird voltage range or limitation. So it's kind of not worth it to try and hook a solar panel up into that thing. I feel like you could just, yeah, it's kind of not worth it. I don't think it's worth the trouble. I see you charge a Go Labs from an EB70 with a USB-C to USB-C cable. Yes. Yes. The good thing about the EB70, ironically, is the EB70 only has output ports on USB-C, and I'm really starting to value that a lot more, as I said on like one of the other lives. What happened? Oh, see what's going on that EcoFlow. What is the main number? Actually, you know what? No, it's on Wi-Fi now. 18. Okay, how long does it say it'll last on the left?
44, 45, 43, 42.
Okay, all right. We're gonna have to plug it in a second. You did, R. DeGraff. I charge power stations from. I prefer power stations that can be charged from 90 watts. 60 watts against any power station just takes a long time. It takes all day. And I want to get a sense that I'm power dumping into a power station so they can fill up and then I could put it away. But it's basically going to be on the power station all day. Even 60 watts against a 300 watt hour thing, that's like 6 hours, right? Maybe 5. You know, I don't math well on the spot. The Flex Solar 100 watt. Do I need to pay attention to this now, Wayne, or is this something for just the future? I use my power stations around the house and have a few because I don't like extension cords running with. I dig that 100%. I wouldn't sell an AC 200p, just my thoughts. That's actually a good point, Melissa. Melissa, you took your picture down. Why you take your picture down? That picture was nice. What happened? I ain't mad. People have their reasons, but oh, okay, I got you. It has a 60 watt USB port on it. Lead Farmer has what? What does Lead Farmer have? Think of the path you want to go. The Pro is good and expensive. Harbor Freight sold out of that panel, the clamshell. Yeah, that panel was very limited in its output. I don't think it was very useful. It was like a 13 watt panel, and panels don't put out their full wattage anyway. But what Led was saying is that it did work with whatever he paired it up with. I think it was the Go Power Plus or something. And that I don't know. Like people would ask me about that, and I was like, well, I don't have it. I can't vouch for that because sometimes things will show that they're charging, but are they really charging? You don't know. That thing could be getting in 1 watt. You know what I mean? It's like, and that Go Power Plus had a decent capacity. It could take you 6 days to charge that thing from off of that solar panel. I didn't know, so I couldn't vouch for it. Our local Harbor Freight only sells Jackeries. It's interesting. Sleeper, I want to make sure I'm tending to your question properly. Um, so you would do a Delta Pro, the big boy, I presume, and sell your AC 200p. I can kind of understand that logic because at the most you're gonna have like what 2 or 3 panels. Um, yeah, I just went basic. um, and then what would you do? You know what I mean? It's like the Delta Pro takes XT60, the AC200p takes a weird one. Uh, it goes like 90 to Aviator or something strange. This is another thing I wasn't really a fan of. I'm also concerned about that screen. I don't think anybody has had an issue with the screen outside of like Will initially with like his AC 200 Max or something. The screen stopped working for a little bit and then he couldn't reproduce it. So I'm concerned about that screen. At least with the EcoFlow, there's buttons. You know what I mean? It's like, and if the button on one thing breaks, I mean that sucks, but at least the thing is not dead in the water. If that screen breaks, you're toast. You can't change settings. They should absolutely have some type of hardware switch on that, at least to turn the thing on and be able to produce power. If that screen stops, man, I don't. That concerns me. I mean, but it is what it is. They made a dip with a screen. Our phones have touch screens. Our printers have screens on them. Those things very rarely stop working. So maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's nothing to be concerned over. Oh, okay, you said that's not you. Okay. Thanks for answering me back in regards to the solar panel for the Go Power Plus. I'm thinking about buying an EcoFlow, but I'm not sure which one. Any suggestions? Why are you thinking about buying an EcoFlow? You just a name brand? I feel like I have videos that should be able to help you. You should look at my basic power station suggestions. That should help guide you a little bit. You should look at my what to look for before you buy a power station. That should inform your perspective a little bit. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and you can even email me at solarquestions@askive.com. Okay, that was DeMarco. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you just want to sell a dip to have one device, I get it. And who am I to say whether you should or shouldn't buy it, DeMarco? It's all economics at this point. You know what I mean? It's like he's trying to recoup some of that money. I feel like because you have the AC 200p, me personally, I can't shake how little that EcoFlow Pro cost on Kickstarter, especially with such a company that had a reputable name. I didn't have the mindset nor the money to be willing to spend $2,000 on anything. I slowly arrived at being willing to spend $2,000 on something, and I almost bought the AC 200 Max, but my wife and I couldn't get on the same page about it, and I saw that as God because I prayed like, Lord, should I move on this or not? And I saw that kind of like lack of synergy being like, nah, fam, you need to chill. So I've said all that to say, I would just kind of wait for something that you would be interested in and try and buy that at like about $1,000 or $2,000. And then hold on to your AC 200p too. That way, if you buy something on a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo from a somewhat reputable company that has actual real products, I don't mind the crowdsourcing stuff. I know Will's not a fan of it. And his situation was completely different because like people said, and like he said, I feel like companies were using him to like beta test. And with him having the type of following that he has and the type of revenue that could produce from him just doing that, it was like he was operating as their like R&D department. Okay, well, let Solar Will find all the flaws, and then we'll kind of fix them and not pay him a salary for that. You know what I mean? Dinner time in Colorado Springs. Gotta go. All right. It's always good to see you, man. Straight up, no chaser. 100%. It's always a good time. Yeah, yeah, multiples are always good. It's good to have more than one, especially since you already spent the coin. But 3,000 is a whole lot to come away with. You got the AC 200p, you have the lifeboat, DeMarco. So I feel like I would, well, like, why would you consider the Pro? Because you can accomplish a very similar thing with just getting a Delta. It would give you that quick charge, right? And then you're only spending like $2,000. It's like, I mean, having all of that, all of those features in the Delta Pro with something that fast charges, I get that. I kind of understand that. But you already have something that's pretty capable. So what draws you to the Delta Pro if you're still around? I like having multiple power stations myself. I hate dragging the AC 200 around. So I got the EcoFlow River, Go Power Plus, and thinking of purchasing one more, but waiting. I dig that. How much you thinking about spending? Most companies have the customers R&D their products. My electrician told me that a long time ago. Interesting. Wow, that's deep. that's deep. What's that? Your magnesium? Oh, that's supposed to help with headaches too, right?
Everything.
Boom.
But yes,
Hey, Miss Beverly, good to see you. I have the Go Labs 150, the Go Labs R500, 300, and the Blue Eddy EV70. What's the next biggest size I should get? Now, have we solved your problem of not having access to sun though? Let's see, you have a Go Labs, a small one, another Go Labs, small one, a Blue Eddy, like a medium sized one. What's the next biggest size I should get? What, like, it depends on your needs and what you would be looking to power. It's kind of tough because you would think that the next level up would be to spend about $1,000. But I think realistically, like I said earlier, unless you can find something that's just coming out, like the Satechi or the Alcatel, which is where you could spend like $1,000 for a device that would typically go for like 1,800. Then I feel like your next step needs to be a big one. As an incrementalist, I have to fight against this idea of just kind of going one step up. Like I spent $250 on the Mylan, right? But then there's an opportunity for me to be able to spend a certain amount of dollars on an EcoFlow Pro, right? So I could have just kind of figured something out there, but I'm an incrementalist. I also felt like for the capacity, it was a good look. And then I'm in YouTube, $250. I could kind of absorb that to kind of get a device and be able to do a video on it, have some experience with it, and then use it for power dumping. So, but I think you need to get one to kind of be big enough to do some major stuff in the house at this point. Under 600 preferably. I think that. I'm not worried about the sun. Okay, cool. I dig that. Yeah, Diva saying go big. I agree. You go with something super capable. At least like an 1,800 watt inverter or somewhere around that space. So, you could run a microwave. You could even run an air conditioner, even if it's just for a half hour or whatever, depending on, your situation. Could cool a room down real quick and then run a fan. I think you could even run your washer on those power stations. I don't know if somebody would do that if it got real. I feel like, but if you could, that's the thing about solar, right? solar, once you buy that stuff, those rigid panels, they'll work for years. So there's really no downside in using it if you have the power and can use it. Boom, that's the consensus. So you can, I think the EcoFlow Mini doesn't go up to 1800 watts, but it does go up to 1400 watts. But I don't know how I feel about that 1400. I feel like it's a situation where you kind of have to know what the power draws of your devices were before you bought something like that. If not, I would just want to go like 1800, 2000 watts to make sure that I'm covered with surge and all that jazz. That's kind of my thing. Mm-mm-mm. All right, folks, we gonna any questions this thing? Dang, we hung out for real on here. It's like an hour 45. Listen, I don't need all this negativity and hostility behind me.
That's your normal.
It needs to be off camera, fam. It needs to be off camera. I gotta get with Paco to get him that panel. Hopefully Agwe sends a panel. I'm gonna email them probably tomorrow because Sunday is their Monday, I believe, in some weird way, with the time zones and all that jazz. And then I'll give that one away too. What was all right, let's see here. Yes, it does, Miss Beverly. Blue Eddy does have devices in that range. The AC200P and the AC200 Max are, I think they have like 2000 watt inverters. Let's see. Make sure. I'm pretty sure it does. Blue Eddy power is $18.99. That's dollars. Capacity. Blah 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 blah. Come on, give me some actual useful information. I don't typically do anything other than Google and Chrome, but I'm out here violating my rules for the sake of you know what? I'll reach out to you, Miss Beverly, and let you know. But if y'all don't have any more questions, I'm gonna wrap this gavel up, B. Let's see. Oh, you know what I wanted to tell y'all? Some of you guys have been around for a while, but what I'm gonna do is there's some videos that I think will be useful that YouTube won't show you because they didn't necessarily do good numbers because I didn't have a large following back then. But I had videos on like running my internet from solar. I have videos on the power draw of my TVs. I kind of got away from those videos because they didn't get a whole lot of views because they're not necessarily super useful in terms of discovery. Now, when you already have an audience and you make a video like that, then people may watch it. But I'm gonna create a playlist for like some I don't know what I want to call it, like some older videos that are useful or something like that. But other than that, your boy's just trying to get to 10K. You know what I mean? It's a vanity number, but it's a vanity number that's a little bit closer to what these manufacturers respect a little more. So I'll probably be able to get a few more devices and be able to do videos on them. And that's, I want to be able to do videos on them. I want to be able to have these generic, general overview videos that talk about these devices in a way that helps people inform their purchases. Okay. You had a question? Did I miss it? If you have a question, go ahead and type it again. Thank you, MJ. I hope the food is good. I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Well, this is saying it's a 2000 inverter. Did I miss it? What? Type the question again for me, Sheila. I'm scrolling up to see if I can find it, but if I missed it, then just type it again for me. You may be able to copy and paste it. Yeah, y'all hit the like button before you go. Why not? That helps the videos. It's nothing you have to feel obligated to do, but if you're one of those people who's in the mindset of supporting the channel and enjoying the content, then hitting the thumb up is, you know, that works. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you and the missus. That's nice. I'm looking forward to it. Safe travels to you guys as well. Can I hook up a 100-watt energy panel with a 100-watt 24-volt Harbor Freight panel? I'm gonna say no at the onset, just off of GP. But then why? Which will ultimately probably lead me to another no. Why do you want to hook them up together? To connect them into what? Huh?
So this baby is not going to sleep.
What time is it? Yeah. You said on one of your lives you wanted to try out the New Jersey solar panel. Have one 200-watt. Send me your return address when you send the panel so I can ship it to you. The New Jersey solar panel? Which solar generator? But for the most part, no, it won't work. In order for a 24-volt panel, yeah, that's just, I could explain it, but for the most part, no, it won't work. And even in a way that you would try to make it work, it gets like really complicated. Because if you have a 24-volt Harbor Freight panel, you would need to connect that 9 times out of 10. Yeah, it's just weird. It won't work. Yes, that's right, Sheila, because of the difference in the voltage. Because what will happen is if they're gonna want to, and I'm no electrician, so I may not know the right word, but they're gonna want to kind of like equalize, right? So the 24-volt, and they equalize at the lowest whatever common denominator. So the 24-volt, even in a situation where you could put them together, right? You figured out the connections and the power station could take it and all that jazz, which the power station probably can't. It would just turn it into a 12-volt panel. And even if that's not necessarily technically true, that's kind of what happens, which is why you don't want to mix match a 100-watt panel with a 200-watt panel, because that 200-watt panel would essentially be reduced to a 100-watt panel. And then you're just kind of back where you started from. So it's like you got your 124-volt panel. I don't know what you're plugging that into. I'm kind of a little scared because 24 volts is typically over the rating, the voltage rating for what most smaller power stations can take. So, you know, I don't, but that situation doesn't really work out well. That's always a good look. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Hobotech said, Hobotech said, somebody asked him about Harbor Freight on his live, and he was like, he's like, Harbor Freight, the stuff they sell is junk. That's what he said. Now, whether you believe that or not, I think that those rigid panels, they seem to be performing well, but we don't know what the long-term performance is going to be on those dips, right? Because they just came out like last summer, I think, around that time. So I'm looking forward to some people updating their stuff to talk about the power output that they're getting. And it may take a few years for those panels to kind of degrade, if they degrade. But yeah, I feel like Harbor Freight is kind of hit and miss. I would kind of only mess with them for certain stuff. I was never a fan of their original solar panel setup, like that whole like 25 watt amorphous stuff. Some people say that they worked really well in low light, but the cost was so weird compared to like going just mainstream and easy versus buying this kind of like outlier system that wasn't really compatible with a whole lot of things outside of like lead acid batteries and charging batteries and stuff like that. You couldn't really use it with power stations, or you had to adapt it in some way. So the Harbor Freight stuff was always weird to me, even before I really started spending money on a whole lot of and getting deep into solar. Last call for alcohol, and then we're gonna shut it down. I'm glad I came on a Saturday. Uh, Thanks to my wife, I got to record 2 videos and hang out with y'all for almost 2 hours. So with that, y'all be beautiful, and till next time, which is probably gonna be Wednesday at 6:15 Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, I'll have a video ready for Tuesday. All right, y'all. Later.